การแข่งขัน MSL Thailand Season 1 Powered by Moonton Official Telecommunication Partner True 5G Official Gaming Phone by Infinix Official Sponsor by Richman Shop Official Gaming Chair Partner DX Racer
You guys are the superstars. You guys are the best. The sky plane of the day is down. The golden road is down.
สวัสดีค่ะ ยินดีต้อนรับทุกท่านเข้าสู่เวที MSL Thailand Season 1 Time to Rise วันนี้ร่วมเป็นสักขีพยานกันว่า ใครกันแน่ที่จะเป็น Number One สวัสดีค่ะ อยู่กับดิฉันรามิดา เป็นพิธีกรดำเนินรายการ MSL Thailand ในวันนี้ นี่เป็นเวทีการแข่งขัน Mobile Legends ระดับมืออาชีพ ครั้งแรกของประเทศไทย และจะมีเพียง 6 ทีมจาก 10 ทีมเท่านั้น ที่จะได้ไปต่อในรอบ Play-off วันนี้เราพร้อมแล้วที่จะพิสูจน์ให้เห็นว่า เราไม่ใช่แค่ Easy Server และพร้อมก้าวสู่เวทีการแข่งขันระดับ Global อย่างแท้จริง หลังจากนี้ขอเชิญทุกท่านพบกับเหล่าแคสเตอร์ได้เลยค่ะ
esports powerhouse Thailand as they venture into the MLBB scene, and today marks the first day of MSL TH. My name is Brigida, and together with me is Goni. I think that's Goni, not Goine. So yeah, we can pick that up.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much, Brigida. What an opening. I'm so excited. Yes, hopefully they revise my name soon. But hey, I am so excited to just witness, right, the Thailand scene.
Yep. This has been, I think, a much anticipated league for a lot of us, even the international viewers out there, because historically speaking, Thailand has already made waves in terms of like their achievements in the MLBB scene. And a lot of us were looking forward to see on whether or not they could make it back to the big stage, or when would they actually have an opportunity for themselves to compete amongst themselves. And now we finally get to see some of the top teams joining us here in MSL Thailand. So we have 4 matches today, Gani, 4 best of threes.
We got full 4 matches, all best of threes, like you mentioned, and it's exciting, right? We open things up with Team Bacon. That's an interesting name, I gotta be honest. Bacon Time, rather, going up against Full Sense here. And you know, we got our closing banger here, Brigida, right? With King of Gamers going up against Solix. And that would, guys, be the highlighted match for the day, I feel like.
Yeah, it is definitely a lot of MOBA fans based in Thailand are going to be looking forward to that. And Team Bacon sounds cute, but yeah, it is Bacon time.
I like your logo.
That we are. No, because their logo is very cute. I agree, and this is, I think, also one of the teams we are looking forward to, especially if you are watching from the Philippines, because I believe you've been able to come across their team lineup announcements. They had very fancy visuals to come along with that. And there are two Filipino
จะ
players
ช่วย
who will
ให้
be
การ
joining us there.
e-sport ของเราเนี่ยผลัก
Oh,
ดัน
but
ไป
I
ได้ไกล
think
มากขึ้น
ก็จะแสดงฝี
we
มือ
have
ให้แบบ
a
ว่าต่าง
VDR
ชาติได้เห็น
prepared
นะผม
for
ว่า
us here.
ประเทศไทยเราก็ไม่แพ้ชาติใดในโลกครับผมผมจะมาโชว์สกิลแครี่ที่ผมแบบแอบซ้อมมาหลายปีครับให้คนดูได้เห็นในการแข่งขันรอดูได้เลยครับ
For me, the team is 100% ready and I am 100% confident because I trust them that we can win the matches in the upcoming tournament.
There you have it.
All right. Definitely liking the confidence we got to see there, Goni, and it came
Yeah.
from Exert.
That's right. It was bacon time, and you mentioned Filipinos, right? They have two, right? Exort and Spider Miles in their lineup. So you have seen them play in the PHC. They have some sort of a mark there, right? Now they are trying to create their mark in the Thailand scene. I expect big though. I expect big from
Yeah.
Bacon Time. But if we're talking about lineups, Full Sense also has an PH
Yeah.
import.
Yep. And we're seeing their team intros right now. They are about to enter the stage. Okay. That's a lot of, at least for the first day. I'm surprised with the amount of people that we're already seeing in the venue. There you
That's
go.
There you go. It's Boss, Guns, Kang, Spider Miles, and Exort. So that's bacon time for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. And we are, you mentioned the crowd being day one, and we, of course, got to focus on Full Sense as well.
Yep. There you go. That's Dominic. You saw him just now. That's one Filipino player we were talking about. And I think I'd also like to highlight here Angelina. We have
Angelina.
a female player joining us here in Full Sense. You love to see it. And they will be making their way to the stage right now as well. So I believe this is going to be their starting five. Can't wait to see what these guys have in store for us, Gon.
Yeah, you mentioned Angelina, you mentioned Dominic, but they also have Flash SR, Porza Naruk, they have Neja as well, and you can see by their faces they are ready to rise, right? It is time to rise in Thailand right there.
Yeah, and Flash SR, I think, also deserves a bit of a highlight here because he has been a former coach, and I think it's a bit unusual to see that kind of transition of being a coach to a player, because usually it's being a
The other way
player
around.
then becoming a coach, but this is different. So he already has a bit of a background, he has experience in terms of coaching MLBB. So let's see how that will all come down to this matchup, to this best of 3 series, which we are expecting to really set the pace, because this is the first series we'll witness here in MSLTH.
Yeah, again, guys, you guys are witnessing history because this is day one of season 1 MSL Thailand. So let's see here, right? Being it's bacon time, going up against Full Sense. There you go, the official team lineup: Kang, Boss, Exort, Guns, and as well as Spider Miles.
All right. So still the roles we're most familiar with for Exert and Spider Miles. And I think we were talking about this behind the scenes. Guns, so suitable for him to have that IGN because he is a gold laner. He will be going up against Neja though, on the other hand. And Dominic still in the EXP. Flash SR, that former coach, will be playing jungle role. I would assume a lot of the shot calls will be coming from him. Angelina in mid, and Porza Naruk as the roamer.
Yeah, again, a banger match we got in store for us. And again, let's see which team will be the first team to rise here in MSL. And you can see here, players are getting ready. Coach we saw them, right? It was Noel and Dran. So let's see. I am most intrigued to see what will be the drafts look like
Yeah, that's
for the
true.
Thai
That's
team.
true. Oh, and now we have our talent predictions brought to you by Infinix. So I am seeing that we have different opinions about this matchup, Gani. I am
Yes.
thinking we are going to a game three, but I am in favor of bacon time. And you think it's a 2-0?
You know what? I like full sense. And you know what, guys? I'm just going up against Brigida at this point. Ooh, we got other the local talents as
Wait.
well. Oh,
Oh,
Wawa.
this
Wawa
is
seems to agree with me.
this is interesting. Okay, I did not expect to be in the minority for this one. Um,
Well, I'm still in the morning. Oh, you're right. You're
yeah,
right. Technically, you're right.
because it's 2 out of 3 talents in the Thai broadcast who think it's gonna be full sense rather than bacon time. But that's interesting, I guess. There could be a bit of there could be some other factors as to why they have been very successful too in the MOBA scene.
Hmm.
So I would understand if maybe when it comes to the argument of chemistry or carrying and expanding their empire, right, there would be a bit more favor towards full sense. And Bacon Time, arguably, they do have 2 Filipino players, but we don't know how long has it been since they've tried to work out their team chemistry and stuff like that.
That is actually true, right? We have not known I guess the screen time, the chemistry you
Yeah.
mentioned. Also, the language, right? What are they currently like calming or
Ah, that's
using comms?
true.
What do I? Of course, maybe they're leaning towards more English, but that a challenge? Is that a barrier right there, or
Mhm.
has they? Yeah, are they like fix that? Is it fixed already? But let's take a look at bacon time and full sense here. One of my fellow casters, international casters, okay, named a big fan of bacon time. Break it out.
Really?
So yeah, so
Oh.
he messaged me and he's like, "Yo, you know what? It's bacon time. I think it's their season here, debut. So let's see here, right? So a lot of expectations
Oh.
already, not just from the PH region, but also internationally, Brigida. So let's see here if Bacon Time can deliver that expectation this season.
Okay, that is gonna be really interesting. Because I think even if you look at other regions, right, preseason,
Hmm.
you already have a certain, let's say, tier list or maybe even expectations or power rankings for the teams
Yes,
before going into the season. And I think for both PH and ID, to some extent, these expectations weren't really met in a sense.
yeah, yeah.
So I I personally, before casting for MSLTH, I've also been, of course, looking at team or Bacon Time, but we will never know because the for the Thai casters to have a majority vote of full sense, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, what other information do they have for them to actually predict this way? They most probably know a bit more than us, but that's just me. That is my prediction. Those are my expectations for this matchup. I wonder how much of a surprise the drafts are going to be, as you mentioned, and we are
Yep.
jumping right into that. So, for the first map ever here in MSLTH, we will be
Ooh,
having Broken Walls. Okay.
we're gonna have broken walls indeed, Brigida. So a lot of rotations. Maybe expect cheeky angles jungles to be
Yep.
taken by both teams as well. And let's see here. Oh, the drafts are in, right? We are gonna have Bacon
Whoa.
Time being blue, and that's already all 6 heroes banned. What will be the first pick from Bacon Time?
That's such a quick draft. Okay. I well, at least for the first part, we don't see that much of a
Yes.
difference, I guess, in terms of like what we're
Yes.
used to seeing in the drafts for both PH and ID. I guess the most surprising would be the Khalid taken out for me, but that's a quick response. The Phobius and Guinevere also immediately locked in. Might not be that much of a great time for the Freya Prio here, which we don't know if it is gonna be in the jungle gold or EXP just yet.
Yeah, it's still up in the air here, right? So this is going to be very exciting again.
Mm,
Full sense. I feel like the Guinevere is jungle because it's quite a
yeah,
popular. It's very popular, but who knows? Might go to Rome. Let's see later on. Bacon time
yeah.
though, they will lock in the Harley and
Whoa.
the Sora.
Okay, at least now we know that there is gonna be the jungle Harley, so it's down to
Yes.
the Sora and the Freya to decide on who's which. Is it Freya Gold or XP or is it Sora Gold or XP? We'll never know. But I like the carry pickup. I was supposed to mention it earlier too because it could have been a really great answer to the Phobius Guinevere in a sense and to the other potential threats in terms of sustain or frontline that could come in from full sense. But now that they secured it for themselves, um, that's less to worry about if you're full sense. But if you were to consider like what other roamers are actually still available, I know Spider Miles is more on a. I mean, during his time, I was
Yes.
used to seeing him on utility.
Yeah.
So,
We might see that, right? We might see that again, Brigada. We might see that side of Spider Miles again. And for the second phases of bans here, it seems like they will take out the mid laner of even Farsa and of course the glue, which is very
mhm.
popular in
Yeah,
ID. I'm quite surprised that it survived the first phase, but okay, at
yeah,
least it did not survive the second phase, right? Now,
yeah,
Bacon Time, what are they going for? Because again, from the drafts, full sense, they have DPS, they have a playmaker in that Guinevere slash, of course, jungler that can play
mhm.
make, and of course, Phoebe is a hero that is able to assist first Turtle, you know. It seems like they will lock in
Yeah.
the Lunok, so there will be a commitment
Oh,
towards a mid laner lock here for the side of Bacon Time.
yeah. Although there is already a carry on the side of full sense, they just probably want to minimize the shred potential that you could expect. So they might be going for a tankier option in the in the roam role, but they pick up the Kadita. Okay, it's pretty interesting. Um, they're just so much crowd control to expect from full sense. It's great that you have options to just go in and out for Bacon time so far with the first three picks.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's about the tanky revitalized roamers that we might be looking at, there is a high loss. Although that could be such an easy target for these combos of the Kadita and the Guinevere. The Kalea's still there. Oh, they're going chip.
Ooh. Wow, I did
Oh,
not expect
that's
that.
yeah. Especially into the Guinevere
And the
Phobius.
Kadita, right? So the shortcut timing needs to be precise here.
Hmm.
And I feel like Bacon Time, what they're saying is we want to fight fire with fire. You heroes that can play make. We have
Mm-mm.
one hero that can teleport all the teams to get into the fight. And let's see here, one last hero to lock in the composition. Full sense.
Hmm.
What do they need though? Need more. Okay, they need a mid laner,
If it's
utility.
it's a if it's a Guinevere jungle, that's confirmed. Oh, so it is a Guinevere jungle. It's a Kaja. Rome for
Rome.
Polzanarok. Huh.
Wait,
Okay,
it's a Kadida. Oh wow.
it's a
Wow, wow, wow.
Kadita. No, it's a Kadita mid. I think
Yeah.
we just need to like tweak things a bit, but it's
Yep.
pretty
Yep.
self-explanatory. That's a carry gold, Kaja Rome, Phobius EXP, Kadita mid, and Jungle Guinevere. I think both lineups are pretty interesting to me, mostly because for Bacon Time, the main, or at least they might be playing around the um team fight potential. It's only the
Mm-hmm.
Kimi
Mm-hmm.
really that's considered as the range for this lineup. But because of the chip pickup, I'm wondering how they're planning to execute the macro, because you can pressure the lanes already with just the Freya and the Sora, but to think that you add the chip on top of that, there could be a lot of mind games that goes
Yeah.
on.
That's the thing. That's the thing. And I feel like the coach, I believe it was Noel, that's what the game plan was, right? Let's see though, execution. Will they be able to execute that properly? Because, a chip level 4 is what he
Hmm.
needs. And one good, like the opening shortcut needs to be good from chip just to set the tone properly for
Yeah.
his team. Because after that, it's technically like do or die after that first shortcut. If it they will control the tempo, they will have map pressure, but if that first shortcut
Hmm.
did not set the tempo properly for their team, yeah, they
Yeah.
gotta find solutions to recover from that situations. Let's see though, first game ever for MSL
Hmm.
Thailand, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. By the way, I just have to add, it's not just Dominic who is a Filipino player. By the way, it's also Nezha. So it's the
Ah,
EXP and the gold lane for Full Sense,
so it's two
and
v2.
that's yeah, it's the sides for Full Sense, and it's the mid duo for Bacon Time. So it's a 2v2.
Will you change
Even
your
even
predictions
even
now, Brigada?
Nah. I voted 2-1. I still voted 2-1. It's because of, I guess, a bit of more. I'm a bit more familiar with the Filipino players that we see in Bacon Time. But even the coach is Filipino, actually. I oh no, it's a different team. It's a different team. No, yeah, it's also Coach Dran. Coach Dran. So it's a
Coach
3v2
Ran.
tally, but let's see how this goes as we get into game number one. That's a Purify Chip and Freya.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can expect
Yeah.
that, right? We're gonna going up against a lot of these crowd controls as well. But Lanadon, here we go for the first game ever between Bacon Time and also Full Sense. First game ever for MSL Thailand Season 1. A lot of aggressive rotations already. Angelina, below 50% HP.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are both the junglers already seeing each other in the mid lane, but a bit more of the invades coming from Bacon Time. At least Dominic will be here to help a bit though, and they don't really get to steal away that green camp. But I'm liking the aggression that we're seeing because even Full Sense, poor Zanarok started or decided to start strong. He showed himself in the purple buff, but Bacon Time, they responded just the same. They said they're going, or we're going for an invades or the invades. It's something it's a great sign for both of these teams.
Yeah, both teams just looking out for each other here, like looking to cut off rotations. Oh, Kaja is spotting B-Boss here. Not level 4 just yet, though, is Harley. So the kill
Hmm.
threat isn't there just yet, as we are about to enter perhaps our first big fight here for the first. So you
Hmm.
see Kadira there, top lane already. 2v1 action.
Oh, not gonna use the combo just yet. They had to delay it a bit more so the crowd or the chain CC would land. Kang Kang, with only using the flicker and ultimate will survive. But that's the EXP laner of Bacon Time, not immediately present for this turtle fight.
Yeah, that's big, right? Kadira not level 4 just yet, so no kill pressure. It was just to force recall. But let's see here. The first turtle
Action.
contest.
Whoa. No one
Hmm.
is allowed to come near. Full
No.
Sense had full control over that turtle bit. And it was, I think we did mention, oh, hold on, that's the spatial migration into the Violet Requiem Exort is going to be first blood. Neja, though, traded down bottom. It's a 1-for-1 so far.
Yeah, it's a 1-for-1 indeed. And keep in mind though, full sense they got the turtle, and now Spider Mouse has the shortcut. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Mhm.
be ready to see a pick off, a big suddenly a 1v5 potentially,
Yeah.
and the side laners, they gotta be aware that they gotta sense like when everyone is missing in the mid lane on their maps, they gotta expect this chip Spider Mouse to be
Mhm.
around. And slowly but
Yeah.
surely here, both teams are slowing their tempo down.
Yeah. I mean, even just the fact that you know there's a chip, I think it discourages you to play too aggressive when you know that you're alone. Because
Yep.
there is going to be the threat of a shortcut anytime that you'd be suddenly ganked on by multiple members from Bacon Time. But at least Porzonarix keeping Spider Miles in check. So
Mm-hmm.
they kind
Mm-hmm.
of minimize the threat of a surprise gank. But what they don't know is that Vivos also here using the deadly magic. But Porzonarix is going to be very tanky and is able to deal with that. So we might be looking at the next turtle again, but before that happens, flashes are. Yeah, he's waiting for someone.
He was. There was if he saw a potential angle, he might jump in. And first turtle though setup was a 2v1 with Kadita ganking on Kang Kang, right? So my guess is they're gonna try the same blueprint. They're gonna gank someone, force him to recall or pick off one, and then it will be a free turtle. But it seems like they
Mhm.
will occupy the turtle's area. Spider Miles here looking for an angle,
Oh,
perhaps.
oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. And off cam, boss, he decided to let go of this turtle. He wanted something else. That was Neja on his second death in this game. Not looking too good for full sense, although they do get the second turtle. But it hasn't been such a great laning for their gold laner so far. At least they're able to hold down. Oh, hold on. Divine Judgment, the burst onto Spider Miles, but this might be the counter engage coming in from Bacon Time. Porzonaro gets punished hard. Dominic 2 joining in Infernal Pursuits, but he's up against 4. He'll only get the kill on Spider Miles.
Yeah, man, oh man, the tempo has gone up quickly here after the second turtle. Even before, right? You mentioned the pickoff and Nisha not having a good farm. It seems like full sense they're slowly, but surely here they lose on that tempo, and this is not a good sign
Yeah.
here because Bacon Time they got already 1,000 gold lead, and take a look at the damage Porzonaro is taking.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Flash SR though, they were ready. Neja 2 finally picking up an assist. And Spider Miles will be the pickoff there. So at least they're still I'd say they're not too reactive to what Bacon Time's trying to do. I think for the most part, Full Sense is still the team who gets to set the tempo in the team fights. Because look, they need to be the ones who are in control of the map because of the nature of their lineup. They have the Guinevere's, they have the Kadita, so they have to be able to hold these pushes so they can go in for those surprise attempts. And speaking of surprise attempts, that's another pick off. You get to see from Spider Miles. He gets to lay down the portal just in time, though. So Guns will be able to join as well as Kang Kang. They're already able to take down 4 members from Full Sense. It's Dominic all alone against 4, but I don't think he'll get to last that long.
Man, oh man, Bacon Time it is. Finds a very cheeky shortcut, a very honest shortcut. Execution, their coordination was on point. The way they target members was also very good because they neglect, they ignore Dominic. They take off the important members first, and there you go. Take a look at the chain reaction after that wipeout, Brigada. They got the
Yeah.
mid turret, they got the last turtle, and map control wise with a chip, Bacon Time, it is their game to lose. So let's see
Yeah.
here. If Full Sense can recover, what can they do? I think they now just gotta focus on Nasia. Nasia needs to get
Mm,
farm. Early game it wasn't a good laning phase for Nasia,
yeah.
but now you may say it's too late, but I think they're banking on Asia to get those items, Trinity to have a chance to
Yeah.
recover. Because the lead for Bacon Time right now, it's huge. 4K, eight
Yeah.
minutes in with a chip.
I say it's both that playing around, starting to play around Asia, and also being more wise, because you see how full sense are able to really capitalize on map control. It's just that the targets might not be the best targets at times. I think that previous team fight we saw was
Mhm.
off of their failed attempt to just really lock down Spider Miles and burst him before he's able to do anything. Because even if they had the damage to deal with him, he was still able to lay down the shortcut. And that's where Bacon Time found their opening to actually fight back. So if it's
Hmm.
them utilizing these pickoffs, that divine judgment, spatial migration, or even the petrify and the breath of the ocean combo, it should be on targets that would really be valuable pickoffs, I guess, and not targets who could like really just last long enough so others could catch up and stuff like that. But hold on, look at the positionings of both Kangkang and Pipos. At
They,
least I don't think
yeah.
they're gonna try to take on Dominic.
Moving on towards Dominic.
Okay, I'm taking back what I said. They actually tried to take on Dominic, and there's the divine judgment on Spider Miles once again. Now with the portal
Ooh.
already laid down, full sense are the ones who are able to take a pick off. Full combo already committed here by Angelina, but yet to burst down anyone. Guns at least gets it down though by Dominic. That's a double kill. Kang Kang 2 finding Angelina, but Bivos, the red tree holder, gets picked off as well. A 4-for-1 trade, clearly in favor of full sense.
The anticipation, the composure. Full Sense was able to display that in that last big team fight. And look what they got. The lead, the economy that was on Bacon Time's side, gone, right? They got the Lord, they got multiple shutdowns, and now full sense, they're actually back in the game. Because guess what?
Yeah.
Nasia, one kill, but that was a whole bounty. So they have chances now, even with the Lord, to play around with. Bacon
Mhm.
Time, you mentioned it. You called it, Brigida. That was the Phobius. Why would they jump on towards the Phobius? And Dominic, with the calm flicker, was able to delay and bought time for his team
Mhm.
to just anticipate the movements, and they got a Lord to play around with. Bacon Time. Loki fumbled, Brigida.
It's is that the story for the past two failed engages? It's picking the wrong target. Full sense tried to take on Spider Miles, didn't work for them. Bacon Time tried to take on Dominic, still didn't work for them. So now whatever we said for full sense rings true for Bacon Time as well. It's really important that you know who your targets are, because
Yeah.
look, as we get into the latter portions of the game, these wrong choices are a lot more expensive now. Oh, hold on. Flashes are all alone there up top. Those are three members of Bacon Time who decided to take him on. Now Guns though trying to go for the defense. He is gonna
Oh,
get some help though, but then Full Sense actually decide to fight under the turret with no minions though. Still failed to take down that base turret. And that's a flicker from Kang Kang! He actually still wants to fight! Still uses the Thunder form. Dominic once again isolated. Dark Wave. But he's all alone now. That's gonna be a kill over to Bacon Time.
yeah, he was in too deep right there. I mean, he almost made a huge play, Brigida, under the turret, pops the winner crown, but the damage was not enough to take any member of Bacon Time down. He made it back, he kept his distance, but he was, like you said, said, isolated. And full sense, they technically lost two members, being Flash SR in the top lane and also Dominic. So that kind of was the reset button. You can see the economy being very, very non-existent,
Yeah.
and that is, ladies and gentlemen, the current state of the game. We're 13 minutes in. The early game was for bacon time, but the mid game, Full Sends fired back. But
Yeah.
it is all equal right now. So
Yeah.
entering the late game, it is going to be very crucial. You mentioned again being the targeting. I agree that the prioritization on the targeting is going to play a huge part here. And Spider Miles, with the shortcut ability, needs to,
Hmm.
maximize this power. Whoa, full
Yeah.
sends there. Will they
Oh,
do a full send on towards the Lord?
wait, they're bursting it. Spider Maz though. Oh, now they commit the divine judgment on him once again. That's gonna be the shortcut laid down for bacon time though, and the others are going to try and go for the follow up. But full sense, they're ready. It's just Kang Kang and Exort left to fight back, but without Kang Kang,
Oh
what
my
can
god.
Exort do? He's up against four members of full sense who decide to let go of the Lord.
It is endable. Exort needs to delay 10 seconds. Can he do it?
Oh, traction pull's gonna get laid. Oh no! They actually land the spatial migration, and that's gonna be it for game number one. Full sense. Wow! Now we get to see a glimpse of why the Thailand casters actually favored full sense.
This is intense, Brigada. That was our officially the first game of MSL. And the tempo, you can see just both teams firing back. It was action all around, and two good fights for the side of full sense was enough to take the game. This one was the first fight I feel like was favored full
Yeah,
sense. They were able to neutralize the situation, and this was the second one.
it's like I think the notable there were only like three notable team fights really, and all and each of them really changed the course of the game. Like the first
Yeah.
team fight, it suddenly allowed Bacon Time to get control over the game, and then the second team fight happened, and that led to Full Sense getting control over the game. And then the third team fight happened, things got evened out, and it was just that last team fight which cost Bacon Time their loss. Because it could have been anyone's game, I think. Especially when we were able to even things out towards the last part. It's just that
Mhm.
I'm trying to like look back on what happened. It was a decision from Full Sense to burst down the Lord. We thought it would have been a dangerous decision
Yeah.
because Bacon Time had the conceal. Spider Miles was looking for a target, but for some reason they still made it work.
Yeah. In that fight specifically, B Boss Harley got took down way too early, Brigada. So one of their
Mm,
main damage dealers plus a retribution holder was out and down, down too
yeah.
early. And of course, we get to see the MVP. It's gonna be Angelina here,
Oh,
with a 327 respectable, stat. And I gotta say, Angelina brought the Kadita, who technically is not really in the meta. It was really not in the
mm-hmm.
popular picks,
Yeah.
but Angelina made it work, and you can see the highlights. Angelina was one of the factors why the tempo was shifted towards the side of
Yeah.
full sense.
And I gotta say that in a way, she also really contributed to how Bacon Time weren't really able to take full control immediately of this game because the Kadita has so many ways to keep herself in the game. Like there's a
Yeah.
passive that just gives you back your lost HP, so long as you don't get bursted within like a certain amount of time. And there's
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
just the petrify. There are multiple ways for this Karita to stay alive, and that's something you do not want as a Harley, because even that brief amount of immunity that you get for, let's say, during your casting of the rough waves and stuff like that, is an immediate way to just deny the threat of the deadly magic. So I think B-Boss here, we kind of see why they just decided to keep rotating down bottom. But even if they paid so much attention to Neja, that didn't stop the other members here for Full Sense. That didn't stop the mid trio here of Full Sense to actually find other things across the map. And again, it's great because you get the first MVP ever in MSL Thailand. It's so rare to see female players in the scene, but you make a statement with this performance from Angelina. Well deserved.
Very well deserved, right? It is technically with that game win, maybe it is their time to rise, and you get to see a full overview, ladies and gentlemen. In case you missed the action, here's the conclusion, right? 14 minutes of game time. So we got to see one Lord. Technically, we didn't really get to see that Lord in action. Right? They got the base already. But man, so early game, it was bacon time, got the tempo with the chip as expected, Spider Miles clean with it. But then just full sense again, just the anticipation. They know they solve the issue quickly. They were able to find important kills, especially Neja getting that one kill for a shutdown. It was huge. It's
Yep.
it's it's crazy. Full Sense was just too composed. I feel like after
Mm-hmm.
that first
Yeah.
loss, they were down 4K, by the way, and they were
Yeah.
able to recover. So, I want to see Bacon Time back to their drawing boards as well. But you can see just the damage dealt by Neja, man. 43,000 at the end of the day. That's a lot of
Yeah.
damage.
For someone who died twice
Uh,
in the laning
he was
stage.
0-3 at one point.
Yeah. But didn't matter. Didn't matter at
Did
all
not
for Full
matter. Yeah.
Sense. Just when I thought the team fights were gonna be a lot more favoring Bacon Time, because this is what? This is a chip. You got a Sora and the Freya. Just imagine how chaotic the team fights would be. But I think Full Sense also just decided to take it one step at a time. That's why they were so reliant on their pick-off potential, which it's great. It actually worked for them in the long run. Um, so I agree. I would definitely want to see Bacon Time back to the drawing board, or maybe trying to not overcomplicate things. Because
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think you kind of see the fundamentals. They have a clear idea of what to do, but the fact that they went for an almost all fighter lineup and the chip roam kind of made things confusing at times, because you don't really know what the play is supposed to be. And it was much simpler for Full Sense here. They just have pickoffs. Okay, find pickoffs are good.
I agree. I think they overcomplicate, and I guess they overthink a little in that game. They saw Dominic. They, you know what? We might have enough firepower to burst Dominic down, but I feel like
Mhm.
that's also just overextension, right? So they overextend, they overcommit, and then of course they got punished for it. Neja got the kill that he really wanted. He got the bounty, and that really sets the tone for Full Sense to turn the tides. That was game one, ladies and gentlemen. We are still in for the series, Brigada. Will there be a 1-1, or will there be just a clean sweep for our first ever opening match here at MSL Thai? We'll have to wait and see. And
Yep.
draft wise, I'm a bit surprised that the glue isn't really prioritized here in this match, because
Hmm.
it's really prioritized here in ID. What about in the Philippines, Brigada? Is it prioritized like first phase?
The glue in the Philippines isn't really as prioritized. I say in the few moments where it actually does get picked up, you
Situational,
just
yeah.
yeah, it's situational, and it I think majority of the times it does not result into a win, especially if it gets picked up way too early in the draft. Let's say first phase, um, even without the presence of, let's say, Faramis and stuff like that, because it's not just really that which gets to counter the glue. There's just so much prio on the marksman as well, and the gold laners nowadays. Um, it seems as if even or especially in situations where it goes up against the Claude and stuff like that, it just allows for the opposing team to have a much easier time. So I don't know if we could say that there are already certain signature picks from Thailand just based
Yep.
off the first game. The Kadita is
Yep.
already
Yep.
one, but I don't know if that's just a full sense special or if it's something that you'll get to see more often here in MSLTH.
Yeah, that actually might just be a full set special, right? But man, it's it's going to be very very interesting going to game two. As we all know, it's bacon time here. They're down 0-1, and actually, I want to know: will they stay on blue side, or will they
Mm.
like switch sides?
Ah, that's
Getting that
right.
last pick, because remember, game one, that Kadita pick was on the last pick. It was
Yeah.
that
Ah, was
last
it
pick
the
value.
Kadita or the Kaja?
Oh wait, actually, it
It's
was the Kaja.
either.
It's
Yeah.
either. I think it was the Kaja, but like that last pick value that red side has definitely can shake things up here. Let's see though. Will Bacon Time go for the red side this time around?
Yeah. A lot of I think reset. It's definitely gonna shake you in some way because that was an unexpected loss. We
Mm-hmm.
just entered the 12-minute mark, the 13-minute mark. That was again a 14-minute game that we got to see for the first match, and I believe not even Bacon Time expected things to turn out that way right after that Lord fight, which didn't even really turn into a Lord fight anyway. Because I think like from the very beginning, their call was to just go for
Yep.
hero.
Yep. Yep.
So um I can't really blame them. It seems like they were too spread out. A lot of their heroes are capable of doing things by
Yeah.
themselves, so we didn't really get to see how they were able to use it together in a team fight. But um nothing it was still a relatively close game, so it hasn't been such an easy win for Full Sense anyway. Let's see what the second map of the game is gonna be.
Let's see. It was Broken Walls game one. It will be expanding rivers. So, expect a lot of fast rotations here. Maybe fast mobility composition type of drafts as well. Bacon time, full sense. It will be the same side. So Bacon time will have the blue
Oh,
side, and full sense will go for the red.
okay.
Okay.
So if this is gonna be similar to the first draft, then we're seeing
Yeah.
another Khalid ban from Bacon Time. And then I'm not entirely sure. It's Valentina for Full Sense to wrap up they changed it. Not gonna be the Khalid anymore. Is still or instead gonna be the Fulvius. Oh, Anti Band of Freya. Okay. I wonder what the prio
So,
is gonna be for Bacon Time. Because there's a Harith, Valentina,
yeah. Wow.
Sora.
Sora, will that be prioritized now that the Phobius is gone, right? So both
Yeah.
teams actually taking a page of game one. Phobius banned out from the side of Bacon, Freya banned out from the side of Full Sense. First pick for the side of Bacon time with this sort of drafting phase. Sora is solid. I like the Sora pick.
It's just that there's a Valentina open, so
Yeah, that's the thing that So they pick up the Valentina to anticipate the Sora coming from Full Sense, and they also want to take Sora for themselves. So can we expect the
Hmm.
Eve to be picked up third? Oh, they don't care.
Uh,
They don't
they
care.
don't care. So I'm gonna pick up the Sora. Okay. So without the threat of a Fulvius or anything, and without the Freya, wondering if Guns would like to pick up this gold laner here. When he sees what the overall idea of, or what Full Sense is mostly gonna play around. So gonna be your Sora. But I think in Thailand, maybe apart from the fact that a lot of the fighter gold laners were open earlier, we don't really see the gold lane being prioritized as much yet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I think
Let me
gold
see.
gold could be picked.
Oh, they still go for
Oh,
the claw. Okay.
they still go for the Claude, which again, just I feel like with the expanding rivers, it allows Claude to rotate. Let's say if he wants to clear both mid and gold lane
Hmm.
respectively very fast as well, right? Certain timings, of course. But with the Suyo,
Yeah.
it's just so in the meta right now because the rotations fast clear as well, and of course the kit of Suyo, it's hard to catch. And the hero that was banned in game one, being Khalid, will be picked up by
Yeah.
Full Sense. So again,
Hmm.
expanding rivers, mobility, right? Khalid just it allows Khalid to be this threatening hero,
Yeah.
threatening towards the composition of Bacon Time. The Uranus ban, they do not want to heal. They don't want to deal with like a hero that is unkillable technically. If, say you got a
Yeah.
3K gold lead in the first like early minutes.
They don't like the annoying XP laners to come out for Kangkang, because I think really earlier to Kangkang when he had or played this Sora was he had a really good performance. So I think Kangkang and the aggressive XP laners work well together. Um, if it's just that though, I think there are still a lot of options available for him. You still got the Arlot, the Yuzhong, um, you still have the Lapu, but they don't seem to be looking at that. They will take out the chip instead for Spider Miles. I think one of the things I'm really curious to see too is if MSL Thailand or the players in Thailand consider the Khalid as a flex still, because I think it's just mostly been in roam role.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the case, because I mean, you can't really tell. I think three of their picks are flex heroes at this point, so and they
Yeah,
will still remain as flex picks.
they can play it around. They can play that uh they can play that mind twist. Will they be able to
Hmm.
deliver it though? But it's gonna be the Lunox here. It's a burst, which is interesting because technically they ban out the Uranus, which can be shredded by the Lunox. But Full Sense says, like, you know what? We don't care. We still
Yeah.
need someone that can be shredded. They need some sort of DPS. They will lock in the magic shred though with that Lunox. But they can, hey, Spider Miles Cho, very.
Hmm.
I've seen clips. Spider Miles is quite good on the Cho. And let's see here with the Cho, will it allow them to force a game three and to lock in their? Ooh,
Oh,
wait. I was
wait.
talking about
So
Spider Man Cho.
yeah. So so they all along they've been flexing the Valentina in DXP, but that's assuming the Sora is gonna go EXP. But what?
Bring it on. Bring
Yes,
it on.
Connie.
This is absolutely crazy. Hanabi from Full Sense.
Ah, have you have you casted a Hanabi game in MPL ID?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. MPL game?
Is
No.
so
You?
has it only been in PH and MY that a Hanabi has been played?
Wait, I was there. I don't think if there was, I don't think I casted that game.
Okay, so
But
this is
like,
your first time casting a Hanabi game.
it's gonna be my first time. So this is your not your first experience,
This is not my first time. I would like to give my shout outs to Mr. Netsky
right?
for playing the Hanabi a couple of times now in MPLPH. And in my experience, it has been a very passive gold laner. Couldn't say the exact same thing for MPLMY because I believe their Hanabi got a win. I think I was innocent. So let's see what's gonna happen here in Thailand.
Let's see. Let's see. Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the land of dawn for game two between Bacon Time and Full Sense. Will Full Sense full clean sweep this series, or perhaps Bacon Time, recover, and potentially we might see an equalizer from their side.
Yep. I think we would definitely want to see Bacon Time at least bring us to a game number 3. But let's see if that's gonna happen because poor Zanaruk with this early game rotation. Ooh, he is keeping B-Boss in check. Just look at how he's forced him to change his jungle patterns just by standing in front of him.
Yeah, the intimidation is already enough. The presence, right, is already intimidating enough. And we can see though, for Hanabi Neja is actually assisted early by the Khalid. Yeah, as expected though, Hanabi needs a quiet and chill early game to
Yeah.
be able to have a good mid game and a better late game. But let's see here, is
Mhm.
Neja gonna pull off the Hanabi this time around? Because that is a
Yeah.
difficult hero to pull off.
Yeah. And if they don't want him to be able to pull off that Hanabi, we gotta keep our eyes on Spider Miles and Exort because I think these two have to do something. They have
Yeah.
to make the most out of either their pick off potential, their poke potential, and just overall just having a Suyo by your side because there's just so much burst. Oh my goodness, but look at that jump from Flash SR,
Oof.
Spider Miles. He merely wanted to check that bush. He's a Cho. He could be.
Yeah, unfortunate there. And just like game one, oh, come again, gang, having a solo there, but Turtle should be full sense again. So
Oh
yeah,
my
I mean,
goodness.
looking at the first game, it's a similar story here, Brigida. Just before the first turtle, Full Sense got a pick off on towards, or not a pick off, but they were able to send Kang Kang back in game one. But in game two, they got a better deal. They got a kill, and now they got the turtle. So Full Sense, after first turtle, they got the control here. Now I want to see the quick recovery from Bacon Time, because
Yeah.
that was a big loss
When
for Suyo.
when is it when is it even gonna happen? Because their gameplay right now seems very passive, but you would also say they're trying to wait for the perfect timing for a much more calculated pick off. But Full Sense seem to be reading the map so well that not even these positionings that you're seeing from Bacon Time are really put to great use. Because poor Zanaruk, he's just so reliable in making sure that all these pushes are checked, that his teammates are not going to walk into any traps laid down by Bacon Time. And so far, we don't really get to see these aggressive rotations from both Spider Miles and Exort. It's always Full Sense who gets to position themselves first, even in this scenario where they're not really on a Kaja lineup. This is a Khalid, Guinevere, and a Lunox that you're talking about, not even a Kadita anymore, but they're still the ones who get to position themselves first.
Yeah, the rotations has been more clear. Oh,
Uh,
that's a flicker kick on towards the clone.
Flash SR, Easy Violet Requiem, two-man stun from the Raging Sandstorm. For Zanaruk, he will be taken down too, but what could be the trade? Angelina I think she got some sacks on the Sky Piercer there, but B-Boss is just gonna take him down.
Yeah, even though a very, very funky opening there from the side of Spider Miles, actually, with the quantity that Bacon Time has in that river flow, they were able to pull off a good team fight, right? They got Angelina, they got Flash SR and Porzanarok in that fight, and again, they were able to now take a look at the chain reaction from that fight. They got the second turtle in contest. Let's see though,
Mm-hmm.
Flash SR in position to steal.
Oh, Porzanaro going in. B-Boss secures the turtle for Bacon Time, but now all five members of Full Sense are still alive. They will be fighting back. Kang Kang looking like the next target. Neja here to join as well, but Bacon Time, they see him and decide not to fight anymore.
Yeah, it was it was it was very crazy. It was a crazy fight there from that turtle, but B Boss finds the retribution at least. Was an arrow. Oh, let's
Okay.
see. Let's see. Okay, let's see. That's gonna be guns now with the DHS. So with this, you know what? 6 minutes in, full sends
Mm-hmm.
now looking to perhaps reestablish their positioning, or at least they want
Yeah.
control. Big in time.
Yeah.
They gotta switch things up though. They gotta find a pick on towards Anisha now, who is I feel like having an okay farming phase.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So at least for Bacon Time, it's just really mostly Angelina who's picking or taking majority of the kills, and the gold. Neja has had a much more quiet time in the first 6 minutes of the game. I don't blame Neja though. It's something to be expected for a Hanabi, especially in the laning phase. Let's see how they get to capitalize on that in the latter portions of the game. B-Boss though finding Porzanaruk here, lands the stun with the Raging Sandstorm, but it's still gonna be a kill over to Bacon Time. That's right before the turtle too.
That's finally pressure towards Nasia. That's gonna be Nasia though, taken down under his own turret. And Kang off camera kill, top lane. That's the Valentina taken off. So technically they got a trade, but they lose a structure in the bottom side. And of course, being the turtle here in the bottom side of the map, they will get it as well. Big time
Yeah. I don't think you'll be happy with that. Bacon Time losing both their gold laner, a turret, and the turtle all at the same time. So that's gonna hand over some sort of lead to Bacon Time. At least though, that's only like the first the first death that you get to see from Neja. But that's the thing. If that if that kind of rotation already resulted into a kill for Neja, then what more if you get to see, let's say, Kang Kang joining the fight with a stolen um, Thunder form, or
Mhm.
B-Boss, Spider Miles too, using the flicker ins. Oh,
That's gonna be the jump from full sense. Spider Man. He was just a roamer, but that was a lot of resources spent now. Bebop trying to make a play here in the 3v1. Higanbana actually popped. Beboss repositions, and that will be the just reinforcements presence. That's the Petrify, the Kadita combo,
oh.
but Khalid is just too tanky to be bursted down like that. Flicker though spent.
Okay, they're still holding on to their mid turret at least. And I'm liking what we're seeing from Bacon Time now. There's a bit more aggression. There are more coordinated rotations among themselves. So we get to see them a lot more confident in terms of positioning as compared to the first few minutes of the game and even game number one. Oh my goodness.
Fortunato taking a couple of turret shots, still able to tank it. Guns will have to recall And that
Hmm.
surely is a structure taken. Take a look at the mid lane though. Bacon time is trying to occupy it, but seems like their call is to just slow the tempo down. Structure bottom side will be defended, but oh no, it will not be defended. Full sense got the timing right. Now that the first
Okay.
lord is up here, it's still anybody's lord technically.
Yeah. Both tier 1 turrets are already taken down for full sense and bacon time. The Lord's already low!
That's the combination. The Petrify doesn't really connect though. That's gonna be the again blazing duet pop at Kang Kang recovers the Lord. And Bacon Time with that takes it. Oh, in the mid lane, that's gonna be action. Dominic looking for an opening, blazing duet. Not enough. That's gonna be Guns taken down though. Oh, under the turret. That is a nasty opening from B Boss. It's a 1-for-1, but remember, Bacon Time, they got the Lord.
Yep, Flash SR, great job at using the spatial migration to cancel out those skills, those ultimates, those that blazing duet that you get to see from guns. But they'll have to pay attention to the Lord first, and that is something Bacon Time also has to respect. The possibility of their all in team fights somehow being cancelled out by either the cloud form, by either the spatial migration, and the answers or the damage output that you could expect from Angelina and both Neja too, who you could say are playing a bit more passive this time around, but that's something that could really reward them in the long run. They just need to wait for that one setup that you could see from Dominic, who still hasn't died to this point, by the way. He's tried
Yep.
to use the shifting skies a couple of times now, but I guess Bacon Time too are really just quick to react. Oh, speaking of Dominic, he needs to avoid getting picked off first too, because that's Spider Miles and Exort, both heroes who are really capable of just dealing so much damage and crowd control.
Yeah, their crowd control is a lot, but somehow they got to juggle their crowd control towards Nasia, right? The inbuilt purify that Hanabi has can be annoying to deal with, Brigida. So they
Yeah.
gotta find a way to trigger that and target Nasia and to have a one-sided fight. And so far they have done it. They have attempted, but Nasia is still just one kill, one death.
Yeah.
So I expect more pressure, but it is all okay. 2K, 12 minutes. It's still technically anybody's game. Bacon time, they're not out of the woods just yet.
Yep. Spider Miles, okay. Looking for someone. At least Bacon Time now are also very careful about the riverside, because
Yes.
it's always been full
Yes.
sense finding these pickoffs alongside the right mid bush or the left mid bush, but Bacon Time, they're not really walking into these traps anymore. They're also able to hold it down for themselves, and it's great because they're putting a lot more focus on the left mid bush. That's exactly where they need to do that. There is a lord spawning in 2 seconds. So this is where we're expecting a lot of the action to happen. Neja is finally joining here. They gotta pay
Yeah.
attention to whoever might go
Oh,
for the flank, but what?
that's
Okay.
that's a cheeky one. They know their composition. They know that they have a Hanabi who has the items already, and they were able to technically ninja lord it. They got the
Ninja
lord.
Lord.
Yeah, they got the Lord without any consequence, without any repercussions, and that might
Yeah.
swing things for their side. Let's see. Bacon Time has the economy, but they got a Lord to fight for in the mid lane here. Guns will not commit, but yeah, Bacon Time they got to defend first.
That's cool because Hanabi is technically a ninja. Or is she not a ninja? But anyway, that's a thing. Full
Yep,
sense.
yep.
Okay. Spider
Ooh.
Miles seems to be really struggling to find that right angle. You have to be careful though. Again, there's a lord, so you cannot make any mistakes in terms of this Lord Siege. Oh,
Ooh.
what? Oh, Okay, I was looking at the mini map and Slash SR tried to go for something there.
Yeah, in a 2v1 situation, but they got to take care of the Lord now, who is already charging the top lane. Oh, that's an opening by Exort. Pops the ult. Raising Sandstorm defensively with Spider Miles has the immortality, but they will lose that structure. Now with the Blazing Whip, pop with the Winter Crown just to delay, but that will be the Lord taken down. They got the top, they got the far lane here, full sense. That's a win!
Oh,
But Asia overstays and will be punished. That's an important stun and an important kill for Bacon Time.
yup. At least they get that base turret up top, but it's just gonna be that. They're not even able to take down this tier 1 in mid. And they lost Nesha in the process as well. So this is what we were talking about when we were looking at the draft. This Hanabi is definitely looking like an easy target. And speaking of target,
Uh-oh, that's going to be the opening. They are still a man down here from the side of Full Sense. Flash SR jumps in. Oh, take a look at the damage. And are losing immortality. B-Boss. That's just Bacon time in their prime, finding the right engages, and that's a triple for B-Boss. Now Nisha
oh,
in the vicinity. Higanbana with the
oh,
winner. Oh, but Nisha finds the shutdown. Take a look at this Hanabi firing her skills. That's a petrify, but that's the inbuilt purify here. Gone solo gun down by Nisha. He is here
oh.
to create his mark and time to rise.
Look at that clutch AGs coming from Nisha, surprising us. And even Exort, especially Exort, because you already had the full combo, you had the Petrify ready as well. But who would have thought that Nisha or still had that Aegis? It's another Ninja Lord done here by Full Sense. And the immortality pickup from Dominic, I think that'll help them a lot in their upcoming engage, but we'll see. Bacon time, that could have been such a highlight for B-Boss. That could have been the
Yeah.
MVP highlight sequence we get to see in our post-game discussion. But now that we're seeing Full Sense in their second Lord Siege of the game, that might not be the case anymore, especially if they're able to finally find the end angle.
Oh my goodness, Brigada. Oh my goodness. Let's see. The Lord are already in the area of Bacon time. They will focus on the sword's structure here. That's an opening by the cancellation from the Sora Valentina. That's gonna be Dominic stunned up. That's gonna be the damage coming. Immortality will be taken down. Take a look at the back though. Suyo is doing work. The delay will not be so strong as he was be able to burst it down by Angelina. And that will
Mm-hmm.
actually Bacon time defending their main base, but they will lose the mid lane turret.
Props to be boss. He did such a great job at delaying the other members of Full Sense here, so we didn't really see the 5-man attempt to go
Mhm.
in for the push to provide the follow-up that was necessary for Flash SR to maybe just even be able to survive that failed attempt of the spatial reclaim into the violet spatial migration into the violet reclaim combo, because the winter crown was forced out of Flash SR. And I think if there only had been, I guess, even Angelina nearby, then things could have been a bit more different. But just because B-Boss caught or bought so much time, caught their attention, I think that was both Angelina and Porzanaro um who got were trying to take on B-Boss. Then we didn't really get to see Full Sense make the most out of that Lord Siege. But yet again, still map control clearly in favor of Full Sense, and even just this slight gold lead that you could say doesn't really matter anymore. So let's see if they're able to find a way to deal with Asia this time, because earlier on we were already talking about it.
Yeah.
CC immunity is gonna be a problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's annoying. You know, I've faced Hanabi multiple times on my ranked games, and as a roamer, is it's annoying. Now the Lord. This is an evolved Lord, ladies and gentlemen. The first one in MSL Thailand. And let's see here. Bacon time. Pops to conceal. Looking to pull the trigger, but take a look at the disengage. Oh, the immunity. Val Requiem. He wants to jump. Spider Miles. X-Sword under. The chain CC doesn't really work, but Dominic goes down. Nevertheless, that's going to be the Hinganbana popped on towards 3, but take a look at the isolation on the Retribution holder, and that allows Full Sense to take control of the Lord. Orzanaru trying to hold on, has immortality guns, not enough damage, and will use the art of thievery to go back.
Oh, B boss could have had another highlight reel. We could have made another highlight reel, but Full Sense. They knew that Dominic had to be the sacrifice there. Them trading the jungler already meant that they win that Lord fight. Angelina too, perfectly timed. Neja not being the first target, but I think everything we should definitely give credit to Flash SR for how that entire team fight boiled down. It was because he did not panic to press any other button rather than the violet reclaim to just keep himself immune from that combo, because Spider-Man even committed the flicker when he did that, so he did not expect that reaction from Flash SR. And now they have the Lord marching in mid, but they'll take down that bottom turret first.
Yeah, they look for the end angle here. Oh, Dominic misses. Only finds Kang Kang. That's going to be the kick. On towards 1. Petrified. Take a look at the crowd control. The firepower. That's going to be Ninja just free hitting in the back. Immune. Oh, blazing the white winner crown cancel. Angelina taken down. That's going to be double kill for B-Boss. Bacon time. They have not just recovered, they have defended and find 4 in the process.
Every single time, B-Boss just delivers with this Suyo. And now that could have been the turning point for this game. Bacon time with that single defense play could finally or could potentially turn things around. It seems as Porzanaro just wanted to go for the cut, but Exort is going to pay attention to him. Oh, that's the way of the dragon. Now, could this be a one-way?
This is going to be a one-way. The timers are down. It's a wipeout. Ladies and gentlemen, Bacon time will take us to game number 3.
Now, look at that. At least I'm getting this right in my predictions, Goni. We aren't going to go into a game number 3, but I already have an idea of who we are seeing in our MVP screen. We saw endless highlights from B-Boss in that game.
Man, oh man, B-Boss. Double-digit kill.
B-Boss.
And what a performance.
It's
This defense.
Yeah.
Oh, that shifting clouds from Kang Kang really turned the tides, huh?
I mean, I it was looking like it really looked like an end angle, especially for Neja. He was landing those Higanbanas. Everyone was just connected. Ooh, our Thailand casters are fanning
Yeah.
themselves. I wonder why. It's been such a
A
heated
soup.
series. Yeah, for between these two teams. Okay. But yeah, when you see the Hanabi targeted by, let's say, the Blazing Duet and stuff like that, you don't really get to avoid that. There is little to no mobility skills present for a Hanabi. And packing the AGs also meant that you really limit yourself because you just want to focus on CC immunity and stuff like that. So, still props to Full Sense. That really looked like it could have been a sweep, but B-Boss.
I mean, B-Boss and Kang Kang was B-Boss, but also B-Boss, right? Again, you mentioned highlight reels. Yes, multiple times. Definitely that Suyo will enter the highlight. But yeah, as you mentioned earlier, it's going to be B-Boss. double digit kill, 4 assists, and a 94% kill participation.
Whew.
Man, what a performance.
Huh. This is why. This is why even in PH we've been saying that Suyo is busted because it seems like Suyo really is busted. Like whoever
Yeah.
gets his hands on the Suyo seems to be having a much better time playing compared to all other junglers who have to go through one, either the constant invades, two, either the difficulties in just finding targets overall. Suyo is just the guy who can do both of that, if not more. Because also packing the Sky Piercer, I have to double check if he actually did pack the Sky Piercer in this one. No, he did not. So see, that's another thing.
Nope.
He did not have a Sky Piercer, but he was still able to perform this way. So that speaks volumes about how good of a jungler and a hero Suyo currently is in the meta. But also, you couldn't do all this if it weren't for, you know, B Boss and his mechanics. This is why we were looking at B Boss. A lot of people are really um, fans of B Boss because he's known for his aggressive mechanical playstyle, and using a hero like this just proves it.
Really does. It really does. And yeah, I mean, Suyo, we're talking about that hero. It's just so annoying because if you think about it, it's so complete, right? Fast rotations has an escape skill. The retribution power is huge during Lord fights or neutral objective fights, and this was gonna be that was the last push. But man, oh man, after a 14-minute game time for game one, now we get to see a full overview, a full package of almost a 22-minute of game time and just all action here, Brigida.
it's it's been a 14-minute game, now a 21-minute game. I wonder what's next for us in the series because Bacon
Oh
Time
my
and
God,
Full
you're
Sense
right.
seem to be getting a grasp of the situation at hand. It I really can't point that much of, I guess, the lapses that we got to see from Full Sense, because I really want to credit them
Hmm.
for even their execution of the early game, because we saw the idea, we saw them carrying over the momentum. Porzanaro just posing a huge threat towards even just the jungling patterns here of B-Boss. But this just shows that even if you're able to pressure him a bit in the early game, that's not going to take away his capability to just bounce back. He was forced out of his jungle, but he eventually became the biggest problem here for Full Sense. So I think we already have like players to watch out for at least, and our game one MVP has been somehow shut down in game number two, which I think is also one thing that worked really well for Bacon Time, because they knew that in contrast to, I guess, the Kadita, the Lunox needed a bit more setup. You need to help this mage a bit more to really rack up those kills. That didn't really happen. It seemed like Porzanark was always poked. Porzanark had a much difficult time using his ultimates aggressively. He was almost always using it to get away.
ที่ลืมหายใจ
So,
ตอนจะขึ้นบ้านค่ะ
oh, I
ขอ
think
บ
we have
คุณ
a
น้องเบ
quick
คนะคะ ที่
interview
ทำให้
here.
พี่มีลมหายใจต่อนะคะ
ขอบคุณมากค่ะ เดี๋ยวท่าน สวัสดีค่ะ อันนี้ชื่ออะไรคะ
ชื่อน้ำครับ
อ๋อ คุณนะวันนี้มาเชียร์ใครเป็นพิเศษ
มาเชียร์ไฟส้มฟูเซนครับ
แล้วก็ในส่วนของเกมเมื่อกี้เนี่ยรู้สึกยังไงบ้าง
รู้สึกว่าฟูเซนก็ทำได้ดีมากนะครับ แต่ก็เอาแก้ใหม่ในเกมที่ 3 ครับ
ขอบคุณมากค่ะ ก็ขอบคุณทั้งสองท่านมากนะคะ เดี๋ยวขอส่งต่อกลับไปให้แคสเตอร์ได้เลยค่ะ
Okay, that was cute. We see, like, in as early as day one, our audience are very active and participative
Yeah.
in MSLTH.
Yeah, I think it's I like it. You know, it's a fresh look. Yeah, I just after seeing two games, you know, I feel like
Yeah.
it's it's refreshing gameplay wise. It's something new. We got to see the Hanabi. We're gonna two games in, and we get to see a Hanabi and a Kadita both games, by the way. So it's definitely a different look, and it feels like it's we're in for a treat because we still
Hmm.
technically have three more matches, which
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
Hanabi
I'm
Hibanagi,
loving.
Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're loving. I'm loving it too.
The drafts are not too different from what we're used to seeing, but you see a touch of
That's the thing.
uniqueness. Yeah, so you get to see the Karida. The Lunox Hanabis, but more or less it's.
The tempo on the drafts here, Brigida. I really want to
Mhm.
know. And for the side of full sense here, is
Mhm.
Angelina. I mean, Angelina on the Lunox was just also, you mentioned Angelina on that Lunox who was struggling low key on dealing the damage, but Angelina got 6 kills, but then it was just not enough because the jump and the pressure, especially on that defense, the final defense from the side of Bacon Time was amazing.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
juggle of skills was just great.
that's true. Um, because I don't think even Full Sense was prepared for that kind of defense. The
Yeah,
the the last two, or especially the second to the last defense, we saw B-Boss, right? I was pointing out how he was able to separate and split up the team fight. He isolated Angelina. He isolated both Angelina and poor Zanaruk. I think
yeah.
that could have been one of the game ending pushes for Full Sense, really. But it was all because of B-Boss that they really didn't make it happen. So yeah, I guess what I'm expecting for game three really is a respect ban on the Suyo, perhaps, or if they're not, or if they're ever switching side, they might want to pick it up for themselves. It's such a good hero. And now we're finally getting into game number three. What could be the draft for this one? I think it's always randomized, no? So now
Yeah,
we're going
yeah.
with Broken Walls.
So to recap, guys, game one was also Broken Walls. Game two was Expanding Rivers, and in the final game of this series, we will get to see again the Broken Walls. Now they will not switch side here in their final game, so it will still be. I feel like somewhat of a similar draft, right? Maybe just a minor adjustment here and there. Like game two, there was a minor adjustment on the bans towards Freya and also Phovius. So expect that coming to game three as well. So Bacon Time still on on the same approach here as they did game two. What
Whoa,
will be
is
the
there?
change though?
Yeah, are they not gonna ban? Well, to be fair, I don't think it's really banned. Like the Suyo isn't really a go-to ban, so it's more of like a deny pick if ever we get to see it later on in the draft.
Yep.
So if we were to follow a similar pattern to what we saw earlier, the Valentina Flex is still available for Bacon Time if they want to go for that. That's helped them a lot, I think, even if it wasn't the EXP lane earlier. So they're gonna still stick with that. Now, full sense, the question is, do they really wanna stick with a Sora pick still into the Valentina, or do they want to change it up a bit?
I think they should change it up.
Hmm.
No, yeah, you mentioned being a
Yeah.
deny pick here for the side of Suyo. I completely agree. I think they gotta pick Suyo here.
Ah, yeah.
I think yeah, because last time Bacon Time they took it after, they took it technically second pick on their term. So full sense. It's gonna be the Khalid. I expect the Suyo,
Oh.
but they will instead go for the Harley, and of course Bacon Time will lock in the Suyo and Sora. Wow, wow,
Oh. Yeah, so now they get the Valentina and the Sora. Imagine that. Uh,
wow.
this is not gonna be an easy game for whatever Angelina is gonna pick up. Like honestly speaking,
Yeah,
there's it's not an easy game for an Eve, definitely. Even though Eve is like probably next to, in terms of priority, it's not gonna be an easy game for a Farsa. Not gonna be an easy game for
a
the
Lunox as well.
Lunox.
It's going to
Yeah,
be very tough here. What do you roll? What do you main, Brigada?
I'm mostly roam or mid.
Roamer mid. So yeah, it's going to be tough going up against a lot of like jump compositions, right? You got Sora, you got Suyo. Let's see here. Carry though, they will lock in, so they will pull back to what works game one with Nisha rocking the carry. They will ban out the
Hmm.
Cho after that second game. Spider Miles displayed a utility type of Cho.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they also want to take out the Uranus still, or if they just want to focus down on the Rome heroes, because the chip is also still open for Spider Miles if they want to take that out too. Um, if not, wow, it's actually Bacon Time who banned out the Uranus themselves. Okay, pretty interesting here. So it's a chip that's still available if they want to take that out. Other invade heroes too, I think, includes the Hilda. Though this is gonna be a Harley, so I feel like there will be a lot more ways to play around the invades, and you're guarded by a Khalid either way. You don't know what the
Yeah.
mid lane hero is gonna be paired up with a Khalid just yet, but oh wow, look, he's pointing at the camera. Oh, okay.
Okay, it's gonna be the Harriet. Laning phase, yeah, uh Harriet is a tough opponent. So now I feel like Big in Time they have identified that hey, the first three picks from Full Sense is kind of thin. That's why one of the reasons why they banned all the arenas, because of course Full Sense wants a hero that can tank a lot, and there you go. That's gonna be another ban towards the Esmeralda, a hero that can,
Hmm.
if fed, can also tank. Now, first pick in the second phase for Full Sense. Oh, they definitely need bodies, man. They definitely need big bodies. Like they instead lock
Whoa.
in the Kadita first. So
Okay.
that's gonna be a hero for Angelina. By the way, Angelina got the MVP with the
Yep.
Kadita.
Yep. And if we're talking about the few mages left who could actually play a bit okay up against this lineup, then maybe this could be, because you have a Petrify that you could use defensively. You have the Breath of the Ocean or the Rough Waves just to prevent people from going for the chase. Your ability to kite, I think it's also going to be there if you want to win, according to our lovely producer here. He likes the carita. Okay, got what Moskov.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. That's a good pick. I
so
like it. I like the Gatot pick here.
yeah, okay. I wonder what the jungle. Oh no, the jungle is Harley. What is the EXP gonna be? So is it another EX? Wait. This is mid Valen Rome. Okay, XP Sora. Ah,
Wow.
hmm.
I did not expect that. A lot of magic damage here from the side of Full Sense indeed. And you know what? Seeing the
Just yeah.
composition, Briggs, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
side with Bacon Time here.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
more balanced, more well rounded. But hey, Full Sense, execution wise, Angelina got the MVP with the Kadita game one. So maybe Angelina will be able to pull that sort of performance here for game three. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, as we are about to enter the final game of the series.
Yep. This is still, no matter how you look at it, I believe a comfort pick, a very comfortable lineup for Full Sense. And that is one thing that oftentimes changes the course of the game, even though we favor a certain draft so much more than the other. And let's see if they're able to make that happen this time around. I did predict Bacon time 2-1 though. So
Putting it out there again.
yeah, putting it out there. So let's see. Oh, okay.
That's a lot of damage already taken by Porzanaro there with the lead. But yes, you can see here again, B-Boss with a very outstanding performance on that Suyo second game, looking to follow it up again on their third game. And let's see, will he be able to replicate that sort of performance? Because looking at the spells here, nothing too crazy. But that's going to be Dominic. Oh, Lethal Battle. Angelina
Wow.
will be the one who gets it.
That seemed like it was just a skirmish, but there were so many things that were happening all at once just for that little wanderer fight. Oh, the taunt actually lands though. So does the concussive blast. Look at that, an early flicker forced out of Poison Ariuk, and it's with a couple recalls.
A couple of not just a couple Briggs,
They're
but
not stopping
but
it.
yeah, they're not stopping it. But that's a small win right there, forcing the Khalid to use that flicker. So for that turtle fight, it's gonna be big, right? No Khalid jump plus a flicker. But ooh,
Oh, the revitalize! Ah, it's not gonna be enough now. It's Full Sense turn to use the recalls. I mean, if I were Spider Man's right, who would have thought? Who would have thought?
yeah, that was quite unfortunate. Oh, on the bottom side, that's already another flicker popped there from the side of Full Sense. But yes, with the turtle spawning top, it's going to be Harley on duty to poke it out first. Let's see here if B-Boss finds an opening and finds a cheeky steal. Oh, they reset it.
Okay, Dominic already here as well. Angelina, gotta be careful. Oh, Throne of Ruin on two, but P-Boss wins the retry battle. Now they're gonna look for targets. Flash SR gets taken down first. Porzanaric looking like the next target. But the Breath of the Ocean from Angelina is actually gonna save him. But still, it's a clear win for Bacon time.
That's a clear win indeed. They got it. They got the turtle. I feel like Full Sense, I mean, Flash SR, he wasn't confident enough to just pull the trigger there to commit on towards the turtle. Rightly so, right? And take a look at the jump. Dominic here still able to slide way to safety, but they need compensation here, Brigada. They lose out on the turtle, and it feels like their focus should be maybe towards pressuring guns, which who by
Yeah.
the way popped flicker off camera. So maybe that's they're keeping tabs here on the positioning, and hence why Spider Miles is prepared to cover
Yeah.
guns.
Yeah, because pretty much they've already taken control of the EXP lane matchup. It's been Dominic who's able to provide a bit more help in terms of that previous turtle fight. He's also really managing the laning against Kang Kang. Mind you, this is also Kang Kang's hero in game number one, so it's not just Angelina who's able to get another comfort pick. So I think it's a lot of respect too for Full Sense. That's why they really want to limit the movements coming in from Kang Kang. But the next turtle is gonna happen here down bottom. It's Spider Miles getting poked down. So let's see who gets to actually join the fight first, because it seems like Splash SR and his rotations aren't really towards the turtle just yet. He might need to prioritize taking his orange buff.
Yeah, and they gotta delay this, right? Porzanarok is not capable to delay it just yet, and that's why they're taking it. Guns is here. I don't think they can contest here.
Yeah, Flash SR is a
Hmm.
bit too far to go for the contest. Um, they will try to push the waves up top instead, but I don't think there will be a clear trade whatsoever
Bottom
from
side.
Full Sense, not unless they get this kill on guns. But the revitalize is actually still there. Spider Miles, he saw it coming. That was a calculated play coming in from Bacon Time.
Oh, very well played there. Guns getting that kill, very important by the way. And sure, it was just a roamer, but that really, like allows pressure to the side of Full Sense. Now, slowly but surely here, B Boss, he has a Sky Piercer. Oh, that's gonna be a first stack
Oh,
for B Boss.
oh my goodness. Angelina though with the plays. And I think I saw just now a Genius Wand already picked up. Let's see how they're able to utilize this with a lot of magic damage in their lineup. So I'm assuming it'll be good for them. So far though, it's a lead in the hands of Bacon Time, but they're looking to take this bottom turret. Spider Miles and Guns on the defense though will be able to defend it. So it's been a pretty even game so far, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Entering the mid game, we are at an even level playing field. Sure, 1,000 goal lead towards the Bacon Time side, but definitely playable for Full Sense. Take a look at the items here. It's Radiant Armor for the Gatot Kacha, and the carry locked in one item. So can deal damage, but of course not a big one. Still needs to
Yeah.
focus on the farm. Still deathless, so still okay, but he is a level below if you compare it to guns, which
Mm-hmm.
can be concerning.
Yeah. They'll have to play for the late game once again and wait for the perfect timings. Same for, but I think that's the overall idea of Full Sense and their draft, anyways, right? Because they're playing around the idea of a perfect Throne of Ruin, a pickoff that could be done by either Flash SR or Angelina, or the setup for Porzanaro to just go for the counter engage. So, um, right now, let's see who gets to trade better among these two teams as they try to position themselves around the turtle.
I don't think they can contest here Full Sense. And it feels like, yeah, they will concede it. He knows, B Boss is level 11 now, and Flash SR is still level 10. So, needs a lot of recovery. And you can see all across the board that Bacon Time, they got technically the lead here with the level, with the gold as well.
Yeah.
And Full Sense, they're what they can do is just respond.
Ooh, how do you respond to this? Porzanaro. He just used the quick sand guard and there was nowhere else to run. Angelina, though, I'm looking at Angelina. Look at where Angelina is currently positioned at. I doubt B-Boss has an idea about this, but could it actually be B-Boss? Oh, Exhort finds her there.
Great
Great
awareness,
call.
great
Yeah.
awareness from Exhort. And with this, I think now the tempo has really gone towards the side of Bacon Time. Slowly, they're running away with it, right? What, 2 minutes ago, it was only 1,000 gold, but take a look at them now. They doubled their economy lead. And of course, right, EXP wise, Nasia being pressured, they got a kill on towards Porzanarok as well. Bacon Time, they are, I feel like, pressing the right buttons, applying the right
Mm-hmm.
pressure.
Yeah,
They will
they
trade the
are.
structure though. They will take top and lose bot, but it is within their calculations. Because take a look at their positioning. They're in the jungles of Full Sense. They will take
Yeah.
another
They'll,
structure.
they'll get much more than what Full Sense
Almost.
could potentially get. But they have to pay attention to where they are gonna cross because look at Angelina once again. She likes to put
Oh,
herself in these
Tuyo.
positions. She reminds me so much of what? Like how Light or Baloy would play, let's say, but that's a mid laner. not not necessarily a roamer, but she likes to really
You're
go
right.
for these off angles, these flanks. Excerpt though. Might just spot her there. And this is a Lord fight that we're gonna talk about, Gani.
Flash SR spotted. Okay,
Okay.
they're touching and going here. The Lord not committed. Of course, D-Boss here level 13, and Flash SR level 12. So big in time, they have an advantage.
Okay. Who is Exort gonna use his ultimate on Throne of Ruin? Still not getting used by Dominic. Deadly magic. Oh, why was it used on Spider Miles
The
though?
Lord.
There goes the Throne of Ruin onto three, but then the IMU combo from Exort is used as well. The Lord gets stolen by Full Sense, however. But does Bacon Time still want to fight? They don't.
That is impressive. That was impressive, Briggs. A level down and a retreat battle against a Suyo. They will lose the mid lane structure though. They got the Lord, but it seems like Bacon Time they understand that they're still at an advantage, and that's why they're just again pressuring on the right lanes, pressuring on the right timings as well. Dominic here trying to guide the Lord in the
Wow.
bottom side of the map, and full
It's
sends
so
here trying to
tanky.
respond back.
Yeah. Not even guns is dealing enough damage towards Dominic. I think that's gonna be a massive problem for them. AOG used in mid flash SR actually gets taken out. Kang Kang though will use a thunder form. Doesn't land on Porzonaruk, but then that saves them from the pressure that Full Sense could do. They are no longer able to capitalize on the Lord down bottom.
Nope, the Lord will be taken down, no problem from the side of Bacon Time. I really like what Bacon Time is currently doing here, Briggs. They understand that okay, we lose out on the Lord, but we have more items, we have more economy to play around with, and they got the mid. They are able to, that Lord was non-existent, wasn't relevant
Yep.
enough to even be a threat for the side of Bacon Time. And full sense now, the chances them with the Lord to neutralize the game gone, right? So
Uh,
they gotta find solution to neutralize the game again because that Lord was not relevant enough to turn the tides.
yeah. And we're waiting for an entire minute before we see the next Lord Swan. So Bacon Time with this small lead. Let's see how they're able to take care of things. Right now, we're seeing really great positionings from them as well. It's Spider Miles constantly making sure that he has guns in check. I think this is something they